On the 26th of April 1986, the world changed forever with the explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. It remains an unfolding and everlasting tragedy with medical, social, environmental and economic fallout. 7 million people were forcibly removed from their homes across Ukraine and Belarus. 3,000 highly contaminated villages were buried forever in the toxic exclusion zone. In the shadow of Chernobyl, thousands were born with genetic defects and fatal heart abnormalities. Abandoned by parents who were desperate and unable to cope, many were placed in baby homes and orphanages. Conditions in most were utterly shocking.
When we first came here 8 years ago, I can't describe to you what we found here. Children who were dying, children soaked in their own urine, covered in excrement, in beds which were in shocking order, and the children were terrified of us, unused to human contact or touch. And I remember being completely and utterly overwhelmed by the magnitude and the scale of that.
What Irish volunteers saw here led to the founding of Chernobyl Children International.
And Ireland, as the first responding country, and we as one of the first responding organisations, has played a magnificent role in ensuring that the plight and the tragedy of Chernobyl is one that we will never forget. This is Andre, and he's 12 years of age, even though he has the body of maybe a 3 or a 2-year-old, and he was born with a number of genetic problems.
37 years on, Adi Roach's Chernobyl Children International continues to be the world's greatest aid and advocacy agency on behalf of the victims of Chernobyl. Thanks to Irish volunteers and the investment of more than €107 million, the lives of 3 generations of Chernobyl's victims have been transformed. CCI has made unprecedented developments in human rights, disability care and support, as well as hospice and medical care in the affected countries of Ukraine and Belarus. Every year, 6,000 children are born with defective hearts in Ukraine. The most common conditions are known as Chernobyl heart and Ebstein's anomaly.
She has 2 holes in the heart, which, according to the Ukrainians, is the defect that they described as the Chernobyl heart. This is the right ventricle. This is where the hole is. We've been following the effects of Chernobyl in children in this region, Belarus down through Ukraine, for years. And every once in a while you stumble over something that's really fascinating, and that happened today. You know, we have a grandchild of one of the liquidators, one of the Chernobyl liquidators, who has heart disease. And it's not a severe form of heart disease, but it is heart disease which is going to require surgery. Now, what's fascinating about this is that the mother also has heart disease. So, you know, you can see a coincidental effect. Here we have a liquidator whose first daughter has heart disease, and his first granddaughter from that daughter has heart disease. And it makes you wonder how long we're going to see the effect of Chernobyl on generations of individuals in this area.
It was unprovoked, but this is what Russian President Vladimir Putin unleashed on Ukraine.
Unfortunately, Chernobyl re-entered centre stage for all the wrong reasons in the early hours of the 24th of February 2022. News of the invasion of Ukraine came spilling menacingly into our lives, telling us of troop movement via the world's most toxic environment, the dreaded Chernobyl exclusion zone, signifying to the world that the nature of modern warfare had changed forever. CCI had the infrastructure to respond in the Chernobyl regions nimbly and quickly. They not only were able to continue programmes, but expanded them while targeting areas of unique need in Ukraine. The Kharkiv-based cardiac programme was chased by war from east to west, saving the lives of children who are now on the front lines of two humanitarian disasters, Chernobyl and the war. Even with widespread electricity outages and regular shellings, the international and local teams led by Dr. Novik are running the gauntlet on the front line to ensure that as many babies as possible have a chance of survival. Despite a triad of traumatic occurrences, political oppression, the pandemic, and now the war, CCI's teams have developed remarkable resilience and have shown incredible bravery and courage to continue their work supporting the most vulnerable children and families. This is all possible thanks to the generosity of CCI's kind, generous and compassionate volunteers, donors and supporters. Thank you. Go raibh míle maith agaibh.